No, because the way that I'm so pissed off right now. These men. No, I don't even want to say men. I'm going to say boys. These boys are driving me crazy. They're all like, dude, oh my God. They're all like, oh my God, let me take you on a date. Like, oh my God, I could show you the world. Like, shut up, Aladdin.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Shut the up, Aladdin. You're not gonna show me the world. You just want to get in my pants. Shut the up. I can show you that. Shut up. I'm over it. Show me some money in my bank account. How about that?
Catch me outside. How about that?
Show me some money, she says, and then she complains when men only use her for her body. Right? Really interesting how a lot of these girls who complain about being objectified will then go straight ahead to objectify men. Oh, I'm not dealing with him unless he has money. I'm not dealing with him unless he takes me places. And I'm going to be masculine and argumentative. And if a man doesn't want to deal with me, then he's just intimidating. But what is going on, guys? Intimidated, excuse me. What is going on, guys? It is Taylor The Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we are going to be kicking it off by breaking down a clip from this woman right here who just loses her marbles on TikTok. So we're going to be taking a listen once again. Before we jump in, guys, as always, remember to subscribe on your way in and remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. Let's take a listen to what she has to say before we continue.
No, because the way that I'm so pissed off right now. These men. No, I don't even want to say men. I'm going to say boys.
Yeah, because what better way to start your line of argument or, you know, your logic by just attacking the other group's masculinity, right? I've been trying more and more, guys, when I make these videos to address the points that these individuals make rather than, you know, attack their femininity or their womanhood or anything like that. I try and respond to the crazy crap that they're actually saying. But I want you guys to notice how when these girls, they're like losing their mind, or they're complaining about how dating is so difficult for them, one of the first things that they always seem to do is attack a man's masculinity, right? Because they've really got no legs to stand on insofar as a logical argument. They're just like, oh, he didn't take me seriously because he was intimidated. He didn't take me seriously because he's not a real man.
These boys are driving me crazy. They're all like, dude, oh my God. They're all like, oh my God, let me take you on a date. Like, oh my God, I could show you the world. Like,
yeah, it must be so difficult to have just many individuals propositioning you to, you know, go out and take you places. Must be really hard. You know, when I hear these girls complain about dating and they're like, damn, it's so difficult. Dudes just want to keep taking me out. Like, shut up.
Like, shut up, Aladdin. Shut the up, Aladdin. You're not going to show me the world. You just want to get in my pants.
And you just want to get in his wallet. So what exactly is the problem here? Right? So you're complaining about men, you know, just wanting to use you for some fun and not have a relationship with you, which, by the way, is just super hilarious, right? Because a lot of the girls who complain about this and say, like, why won't he make me his girlfriend? It's like, if you make them your girlfriend, it's just straight up embarrassing. Like, one of the things that a lot of guys have started to consider is like, wait a second, you know, if I make this girl into my wife, if I make her into my girlfriend, even if she's super attractive, am I going to be embarrassed? Like, is she going to embarrass me? And the answer to a lot of this is just straight up yes. These girls, they insult men, they make fun of dudes, they're incredibly masculine, they're always looking for an argument, and then they're like, oh, I can't find a boyfriend. It's like, obviously you can't find the boyfriend because nobody, you know, nobody wants to hang out with you for your personality. Like, yeah, your looks might get you in the door, okay? You might be able to go on a date with the guy because he wants to have fun with you, but it's just going to end there because you're hard to deal with. And nobody wants the headache, man.
Shut the up. I can show you that. Shut up. I'm over it. Show me some money in my bank account. How about that?
Yeah, and what better way to wrap it off, right, than say, oh, you need to show me your money. You need to empty your wallet in order to deal with me. Like, what kind of message does that communicate to the dudes that you're complaining about who don't want to commit to you? It's like all you're doing is proving them correct.
In case anybody was curious about my current relationship status,
I wasn't.
I am taken advantage of. And as a joke. So, hit me up.
Yeah, what an absolute surprise. So if you didn't catch what she said there, because I was laughing over it, she said, you know, I'm currently being taken advantage of, right? Which, I mean, just goes without saying as soon as you see the clip, yeah?
Did you guys know that people that can be alone turn into I don't give a say what I want. It's my TikTok. People that can be alone turn into whether they like it or not. I've known of somebody that could be in a marriage, husband and wife. The husband would be gone because they would fight. The bitch was already in another relationship that fast.
Yeah, of course. That's like modern day dating in a nutshell, right? Where a lot of women, they just view men as replaceable people. They're like, okay, well, John's not giving me what I want. I'm going to go down the street to Tim and I'm going to hang out with him because he has a nicer car, or he can do this, or he can do that. But a lot of you guys think I'm being crazy when I outline the fact that girls will literally break up with a dude so that they can carpool with a different one to get to work because it makes their life like 10% easier to get to work. Like, girls will, you know, his ear looks funny, I don't want him. He wears funny shoes, I don't want him. His car isn't nice enough, and all of my girlfriends have boyfriends with nice cars, I don't want him, right? And then they complain when the crap happens to them. You know, oh, you know, she's not really a blonde, so I'm not really into her, right? Oh, you're a misogynist, yeah.
There is no type of respect with people that cannot be alone.
So recently my therapist told me that I should try to not sleep with someone on the first date. And like, she meant it in the least shamey kind of way, just more so the fact that I personally have the tendency to do things backwards when it comes to dating. All my past relationships, I've been physically intimate with them before being emotionally intimate, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and this is why you see many modern women with like bios on Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, whatever dating app you want to name under the sun, where it's like, oh, I'm after an emotional connection, right? It's because they're sick of dudes not wanting to commit to them. Right? They treat the majority of men like crap, and they never want to deal with them because, let's be honest, they're not attractive enough, at least in the woman's eyes, right? It's really got nothing to do with morals. So then they're all dealing with like the top percentage of dudes in terms of attractiveness and money, and then they complain when they can't lock him down. So they're like, oh crap, I need to get an emotional connection, right? Which is where the translation comes from. Oh, you need an emotional connection, you need some investment. Right? Because dudes are not investing in these women. Like, why the hell would you? Right? If a girl goes out here and she's seeing every dude on the first night, why the hell would I invest anything more than, you know, fries at McDonald's? And they complain when dudes aren't taking them out to nice places to eat. It's ridiculous.
And so when she told me I should try that, obviously I agreed too, that it was a great idea because it's something that I haven't really ever done before. And guess what I did on Friday?
You ignored it.
The exact opposite.
Oh.
I mean, in my defense, they do say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And like, in my defense, we did have a really good conversation before stuff happened.
So she heard the advice and she just did the same thing anyway. Right? And this is what guys, like, this woman just totally doomed. Okay, she's gonna get to 35 years of age. Where have all the good men gone? Why can't I find a boyfriend? Blah, blah, blah. The same crap you've heard over and over again. Will she change her decisions? No. Will she change her choices? No. Will she get to 35 and then complain about how it's the men's fault? Oh, you better believe it.
Like, we talked for a few hours about life, got pretty deep. And
interesting choice
I'm just
of words.
coming up with excuses. And like, I do this to myself where I only like hook up with people that I like as a person, which usually means that I see some sort of potential relationship there.
Yeah, because what better way to find a guy than go for the guys where like, oh, there's the potential I can lock him down. I can maybe have a relationship with him. So, hey, if there's a 5% chance I can lock down Chad, let me go just try and try and try and try again until all of a sudden you're 35 years of age and you still haven't found a boyfriend or a man. Right, listen to our choice of language. I'm going to play that back so you guys can hear that, okay? That's just insane.
With excuses. And like I do this to myself where I only like hook up with people that I like as a person, which usually means that I see some sort of potential relationship there.
Yeah, you see some sort of potential relationship with a guy who's incredibly attractive. Right? In other words, you can possibly lock down Chad, so let's just go and rack the numbers up while we try over and over and over again. And what inevitably ends up happening is you just miss so many times. Right? And if you get that dude in a relationship, why the hell would he even be loyal to you anyway? If you manage to get a dude who has plenty of options, why the hell would he take you seriously when you have this past now? Like, even if you manage to lock down a Chad, why would he go, you know what, I'm going to commit to this woman. I'm going to invest in this woman, when she's only demonstrated that she is a bad investment.
But then that means like after we're intimate, I just form a stronger connection to them and inevitably get disappointed when that's all they wanted. But like with this guy on Friday, like I fully went into it telling myself, no, this is just going to be something casual, like nah. And then he ended up being way cooler than I expected. And so obviously now I kind of have an attachment. Like in real life, he seems like a great guy and I want to get to know him more because I had a lot of fun and like I felt the butterflies and everything. But then over text, I get the complete opposite where either he's a really bad texter or he just wants to hook up.
Yeah, so you're just being used, like you're just number 53. Right, and I shouldn't say that she's even being used, really, guys, because she's technically using him as well. Right, it's ridiculous. These girls will engage in hookup culture, and then they'll complain about, like, you could just not do that, you know? But of course, she's got the butterflies, guys. Oh, she has to. She's the victim in this situation. She doesn't know any better, blah, 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 man. Notice how it's the butterflies, by the way. And when girls describe, have you guys ever noticed how when these girls like describe love or they describe an attachment, what they're really describing is something more like anxiety? Like, oh, I don't know whether or not he's attractive, he has other women who are interested, and I don't really know if he likes me or not. They're not, oftentimes when these girls are describing quote unquote love, what they're really describing is just anxiety.
I guess time will tell with this one, but I'm definitely gonna have to clarify the next time we hang out, if we hang out, what his expectations are going forward, because if it's just hooking up, I don't think I can do that because I've already emotionally attached to him. And if he wants to like see where it goes, then that would be great. Like trying not to put this guy on a pedestal, but he was just really cool, and I hope that I don't get my feelings hurt. I don't know what.
And you know what? He's just going to laugh in your face. Whenever you say that crap to dudes who have options like, oh, no more intimacy, we need to form an emotional connection first, the dude's just going to laugh in your face. He's just going to stop talking to you. He's going to slowly ghost you, and she's going to feel anxious, so she's going to return and have bedroom fun repeatedly over and over and over again. But guys, we're going to take a pause here. As always, make sure to come and join us over on Locals AK. I forgot to do the shout out at the beginning of the video, guys, but remember, there is a link at the top of the description, guys, totally free to come and join. In case Susan decides to yeet us off the platform, guys, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. Okay, a lot of us don't really know how long we're going to be around for, so we're setting up, you know, off platforms, if you will. It's totally free to go and join, and if you're interested in supporting the channel, you can also do it over there. But as always, guys, link is in the description, totally free. There's also going to be archived content and things like that over there. But let's continue once again with the remainder of these clips, and then we will jump into a quick magazine article.
What happened? He told me I'm gorgeous, he told me I'm funny, that he could like really see himself with me. And you believed him?
The funniest thing about that video is due to the accuracy, it really puts into perspective how delusional men who say women just need to pick better men are. Because our guy friends will literally put us on game, and then when their dedicated performance works, when their Broadway debut gets a standing ovation, it's the woman's fault.
Yeah, it's almost like the men knew ahead of time that she was being played. Right? It's almost as if the men knew ahead of time that she wouldn't get commitment from the guy. It's almost like the men could make the correct decision, but she couldn't. Isn't that just totally weird?
How are women supposed to pick better men when men are walking around faking personalities for months to years?
It's really not that hard to determine whether or not a man is serious. It's really not that hard. That is why the entire group of friends was laughing at the woman, because they could already tell that she wants to claim innocence, like she didn't know he wasn't going to commit, blah, blah, blah. Everybody knows except the woman, right? Because she just a bit of Chad. She just wants a bit of Chad. Guys, I've made this point a couple of times on the channel before now, okay? But if you take a father and you ask him to select a man for the daughter, he is going to have a very good success rate of choosing a man who is going to be there, be consistent for her, and to provide for her, okay? But these girls, when they choose their partners, what do they choose? They choose the bad boys. They choose the guys that, you know, have dark triad traits, and then they complain about the results as if they couldn't see it coming. It's ridiculous.
To get what they want. Instead of telling women to pick better men, be better men. Raise better men and foster communities of better men by holding other men accountable for weirdo behavior.
Where the hell is your accountability? You can't even choose a partner correctly, and you're going out here saying that other people need to take accountability. You see, this is why it's such a joke. Because all of the men, they can totally understand, like, hey, you need to pick better men. There is a difference in the men that you're choosing. And like, these girls just seem to have no idea. But guys, let's continue on to today's magazine article. And as always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments as we go through. And hopefully I can click the right bloody screen. Here we are. So we have a magazine article here from Evie. Now, I used to, at the very early stages of this YouTube channel, guys, I used to pull up Evie articles and make fun of them. But here we have one where it seems like I might actually agree with it. So I want you guys to let me know if you guys agree in the comments. And we're going to tentatively take a look at this. And the caption reads, "Why happy wife, happy life is the most toxic advice you can give." Now, I'm going to agree with that statement on the outset, guys, that I think that saying happy wife, happy life is a terrible doctrine to live by. And you know what? I'm sure that many men in the comments already know that this is absolutely ridiculous. So let's take a listen. This article is written by a woman named Juliana Stewart. So let's see what she has to say. "The other week, I walked around my local park and passed a couple holding hands, looking pretty content. I noticed the man was wearing a t-shirt saying happy wife, happy life. Contemplating this made me feel odd. I realize I disagree with the statement. If I saw a man wearing this t-shirt, guys, I would laugh to myself. That is absolutely disgusting. You might as well just get a t-shirt that says dumbass or simp, and you might as well just wear that instead, because really that's what you're indicating. I've heard the saying many times before, and I know it's meant to be a joke. It's cute and it rhymes, but to be honest, I find it annoying and cringeworthy. I know it's all about context, but I see a defeated man whenever I hear the saying. A man who bases his happiness around his wife's moods sounds weak to me." Now, this sentence right here, guys, is, you know, runs us back to what happened recently with Will Smith. Okay, I know many of you guys don't follow Hollywood, and I don't particularly care, you know, either. But this is an example of that. Okay, when a man goes, you know what, I need to change my behavior based off of what my wife's moods, and what ends up happening is the woman doesn't respect him anymore because he's shoved by her just changing a facial expression. To me, it implies that a woman can get away with anything in the relationship. She can behave overly emotional, irrational, manipulative, and entitled, and her man should just put up with it. He should always be the rescuer and pathologically give to her. He should bend to her every whim, because if she isn't satisfied, there's no happiness in the house. How is this fair? Yeah, and see, that was your mistake, thinking that it was designed to be fair in the first place. Have you guys seen in society right now, there's like a massive increase in relationships that are quote-unquote ethically non-monogamous, right? You see all these girls who are quote-unquote ethically non-monogamous, or they're in polyamorous relationships or whatever. And what they try to do is they just go around and they just collect simps to be in relationships with, right? And these are the same girls who will complain when a man steps out of that polyamorous relationship because he wants to see another girl. You see, what they want is the girls want to build harems, is essentially what it is, okay? I knew a guy in real life, man. He's still a friend of mine, a fantastic guy. But unfortunately, he just got absolutely crushed by a girl recently. And she, like, their relationship has essentially devolved. But, you know, the guy's very attractive, very intelligent, but over time, she just whittled away at his self-respect to the point where she, as someone who is comparatively significantly, you know, she's not a great looker. He's a fantastic looker. She now runs everything. Their relationship is essentially devolved, and he's still doing stuff for her. It's the most disgusting thing you've ever seen. Anyway. A man who bases his happiness around his wife's moods sounds weak to me. This doesn't sound like a healthy relationship. If anything, it sounds exploitative and even awordative. If the shoe were on the other foot and women were to say happy husband, happy life, there would be an outrage. Yeah, of course, because we live in a society right now that says if you do anything good for men, if you do anything at all to support men, you are a terrible person. You have what's called internalized misogyny, guys. I mean, we've all heard that term before. Let's continue. Marriage is a partnership. The happy wife, happy life saying undermines the important fact that marriage is a partnership. Both partners should have equal accountability and responsibility in the relationship. Both partners should feel like they can voice their opinions and influence one another. And both partners should share power and privilege. You should have mutual respect. Of course, you should want to make your spouse happy, but your self-worth, life, and happiness shouldn't revolve around this. You know, guys, when I hear this stuff of like, you know, a marriage is a partnership. Unfortunately, what I see a lot of today is like a lot of these girls, they'll want to get married, they'll want to have a husband, but they don't actually want to be a wife. They just want to be able to say, oh, look at me, I got the ring, I have a successful relationship, I have a family. But the question becomes, do they want to be a wife? No. Do they want to be a mother? No. In fact, a lot of these girls are just straight up getting divorces when they're bored, or when they're looking at another dude, or when they just want to have some extra money for themselves, and they can just take the dude's money. And that's where we're sitting at right now in society. Anyway, the subservient husband. The truth is, most women don't respect men who say yes to everything. It's just not a marriage issue. It goes with every human relationship. You know, the more I'm reading this, the more it sounds like a dude wrote this, I'm going to be honest. Most women don't respect men who say yes to everything. Sure, it's nice when your husband does nice things for you, but if he always says yes without ever questioning or challenging you, you'll end up walking all over him, because he has no boundaries and no backbone. Plus, wouldn't it be better if your husband had a mission of his own instead of being caught up in always pleasing you? And this is the trap that a lot of men fall into, guys, because we as men, we're sold this lie that you always need to please women, right? You need to make them happy. You need to do things for them. You need to support them. Like, it's essentially right now in society, guys, you are considered a misogynist if you don't do these things. Right? If you're not out here catering, like replying to your girlfriend as soon as she sends you a message, or doing everything for your wife, or, you know, XYZ, then you're a bad man. And she uses this as justification later to cheat on you or to get with other men. I mean, how many times have you guys seen this, right? Where a dude's providing for his entire family, he's going to work, he's doing all of these things, and then the woman uses that as justification to say that she was lonely, or that the relationship was very one-sided because he never paid attention to her, and then all of a sudden she was out there with the, you know, with the pool boy or whatever the hell, right? You see it all of the damn time. And all of their friends, right, sit there and agree with the girl and go, yeah, just leave him, babe. And then when 35 years comes along, she sends that hey stranger text to the man who is always there for her. But let's continue. Is the relationship unbalanced? A good way to see if the relationship is unbalanced or has any underlying issues is to self-reflect. If you catch yourself feeling the need to control or manipulate your husband into doing things your way, pause for a brief second and ask yourself why. Some ways in which women control their husband's behavior include constantly checking up on him, telling him to load the dishwasher or telling him how to do everything, dictating who he can and can't spend time with. I know a lot of you guys watching this have probably had this happen to you, where your girlfriend or your wife is, you know, she never seems to like your friends or anything like that. And that's because she's trying to control the relationships that you have access to. Because if you communicate with people who indicate to you that it's unhealthy to be with this woman, she doesn't want that, right? A lot of girls who are like this crazy, they don't want you to have friends and stuff like that, because then they can't control you. Crying and being overly emotional to trigger the damsel in distress response. Grab a pen and paper, ask yourself why you feel the need to do this, and see what comes up. Journaling is a great way to get to the bottom of what's going on internally and in your relationship. If you catch yourself feeling the need to control your husband, please pause and ask yourself why. People are often unaware of where their anger and frustration stems from, and over time it can manifest into bitterness and resentment. It's essential to slow down and give yourself the space to focus inwards from time to time. For example, if you're constantly telling your husband what to do, ask yourself, is he a child who needs to be told, or is there something else going on? How does that make you feel? If you feel frustrated or angry, why do you feel like this? Are you tired or angry? Blah, blah, blah. She just asks a bunch of questions in order to have some introspection. Happy wife, happy life should be more than just a slogan on a t-shirt. Marriage is about a healthy balance between yourself and your husband, where you both work to meet each other's needs. Both of you must be happy, loved, and equally served to have a happy life together. Guys, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. This is not what marriage is in 2022. Unfortunately, marriage has devolved into a thing where essentially the man is signing his life away to the state, and then the woman profits off of the man making such a terrible decision. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, remember to subscribe on your way out, and remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. And as always, come and join us on Locals, and make sure, you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Peace. Yo, what is going on, guys? Past Taylor here. Just want to say thank you if you made it to the end of today's video. Before you head out, there's just a few announcements that I'd like to make. The first is that my editor, who goes through all of the blood, sweat, and tears of putting together these videos for us to endure, has started his own YouTube channel. I'm going to leave a link to his channel in the video description below, so make sure that you go and show him some support by going and giving him a sub. Also, at the very bottom of the video descriptions, there is a link for those of you who are interested in becoming an editor. I'm not sure how long I'm going to leave these applications open for, but if you're interested in working with me behind the scenes, there will be a link at the very bottom of the video description. Lastly, guys, as always, don't forget to come and join us over on Locals. You guys might have noticed that a lot of YouTube content creators are kind of branching off to different platforms, and that's because we really don't know what we're allowed to say or do, and a lot of us don't really know how long we will be around for. So guys, make sure that you come and join us over on Locals. It's totally free to join. There's a support option if you're interested. There's also exclusive content and stuff like that over there, but it's totally free if you're just wanting to go and join, guys. The link is in the description, so make sure that you come and join us. But as always, guys, make sure you're taking care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.